My feet were fat, swollen red because of the cold temperatures of that water. It was like ice. Pant and t-shirt got wet. I was drenched fully. And हम दोनों बह जाते. Literally bro, we would have actually gone. It was really scary. And then I started crying. Bro, out of nowhere. I don't know why. There's a small rainbow right behind the rock. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, bro. There was fucking brown smoke coming out of the mushroom. And I was so confused. Why does this mushroom have fumes, bro?
चूहा निकला बिल से।
Today I want to talk about one of the best experiences of my life. My first ever Himalayan trek. A 6-day Himalayan trek. It was called the Hampta Pass Trek. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. Something that I really wanted to check off my bucket list for a long time. And I'm glad I did that. This was my second solo trip ever. And if you haven't watched my first solo trip videos, I'll link it to the I button. Go check it out. But obviously, both are different stories and this is my perspective on my second solo trip. My second solo trip produced these two journals, alright, which I'll show you in a bit. So I first went to Delhi. So this was a 2-week trip, and then from Delhi I went to Manali by bus. From Manali we went to the base camp, and from there the trek started for 6 days. After that, after the trek was over, I came back to Manali obviously. Stayed there for a day, and I came back to Delhi. Stayed there for a day again. My 2 weeks were over. Then back to Bangalore, back to the college life, hustle, city life, which, bro, honestly, once you go to the mountains, the city life feels so shit. I'm gonna be sharing a lot about what I did. It's gonna be very candid. There's a lot of things in this that I haven't told my closest friends, alright? Some experiences, oh my god. You know, the mountains, it's been like 2 months since the trip got over, but I still think about it. Literally when I'm taking a shower or just sitting alone, literally I think about those 6 days when I was in the mountains. I cried, laughed, got emotional, made new friends, and had life-changing experiences in this trip. Things I thought I'd never do, all in 6 days. There was no network, no phone, nothing, no contact with the outside world. Just the trek group, that's all. This is the story of my trek. Day 1, 13 September, 8,000 feet, Jobra campsite. Today we met all the new people. There are 14 people on this trek, all from different backgrounds. And I was the youngest there. The trek leader is not that older to me, but he is second youngest in the group, literally. He was only 3 years elder to me. He was so mature for his age. He had great leadership skills as well. So we reached the base camp, but for the longest time we were just in the base camp and we didn't start the trek because it was just the first day. We were playing Antakshari and we were sleeping, there was loud music, everything was happening. When the trek started, it was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful. It's like you enter a forest, there are green trees on the first day. There was a huge mountain with a single layer waterfalls coming out through the mountains. Like strings. Literally it looked like there was a rock and single layer waterfall was coming. Which looked like strings from the angle we were standing in. Literally looked like strings coming out from the mountain. It was so beautiful. And then after that the trek started. Tall green trees and water inlets out of nowhere heading to the river. So there were tall green trees throughout the thing and there was that huge mountain and the base river was flowing right beside it. And between the trees, between the whole between the whole tree, there was just water flowing through and going towards the base river. It looked so beautiful, man. On the first day itself, I was so impressed. And it was raining on the first day. The funniest part, it was raining. So our raincoats were on from the first day itself. And I'll be honest, I slipped multiple times. It's written here, I literally slipped multiple times. And I almost fell apparently. I don't remember this, but yeah. Oh, and then I've written about the food. Oh my god, the food was so good. Every time, like, even the desserts were good. And they were very well maintained. It had all the carbs and all the proteins. It had everything you needed for the trek, to get you going for the trek, right? And the food tasted really good, bro. Like, I don't eat such good food in my house only, or even in my hostel. I don't eat such good food. Those 6 days, I ate the best food, bro. It was really good. There's the campsite which has the tents where we'll sleep. That campsite itself has a big tent where the kitchen workers are there and they make the food there. And it's all fresh, it's all hot. You know, in that cold weather, some hot food, some hot chai really calms you down, and it's really, literally what you need on a trek. And then that's the first day got over. After that, we got to know our trek members a bit more. You know, everyone's still new to each other, we're still getting to know each other. 14th September, day 2 of the trek. 10,000 feet is the climb. So we're gonna climb 2,000 more feet. And the actual trek, like the difficulty, you could feel the difficulty starting from day 2. Day 1 was a cake on the walk. Sorry, walk. It was a cake walk. Day 1 was cake walk. Second day, bro, literally I felt okay, now the trek has started. Now the actual difficulty level has risen up. This whole trek, man, I mean, I have amazing memories and all that. But the worst memory, if I had to say one, was the toilets, bro. The toilets, oh my god, like I've been so choosy and picky about my toilets since I was a kid. But here I had to adjust with what was there. They have something called the bio toilets and they are paperless. I'm sorry, they're waterless. Only paper is allowed. You can't expect a luxury toilet at 10,000 feet or 12,000 feet. It was just a tent with a hole in the bottom and you had to just sit, do it and come out. And obviously wash your hands outside. For the first 2 days I didn't even go to the toilet. I was so scared of going, but I had to go eventually, and I'll talk about that experience of how I went. It's disgusting, but I'm gonna say it, bro, because I've never thought I'd do that. My toilet experience was terrible, and I went in and I didn't. Nothing came out, man. Like, I was so tense. I was actually tense that nothing's coming out because I didn't want kidney stones or something, bro. Because I was eating like a pig. After all that trekking, you really need to eat, and I was really eating like a pig, right? And it had to go somewhere, so I was so paranoid about it. I obviously told my trek leader, and he's like, it's normal, you know, on the first 2 days, it's normal to have constipation, but he would give me medications if needed. So yeah. Before going to this trek, I was very skeptical. You know, every step that I took was with a lot of caution. Because I remember on my first trek that I went with my friends, right? It was somewhere around Bangalore itself, not far from Bangalore. And it was just a 1-day trek. You know, you go up and you come down on the same day. I twisted my ankle very badly. I had a ligament tear or something. It was internal bleeding and all. I had plasters done and I was like on bed for like 2 months after that. And on day 2, I saw one of the best waterfalls, alright? And I've described it here, let's read it out. Imagine, bahut upar, you are walking alongside the mountain, okay? And then you see a waterfall. It's tough to pass the waterfall. But then behind one of the rocks in the waterfall, there was a rainbow out of nowhere. Oh my god. There was literally, okay, imagine a rock, okay? Rock is here and then there is waterfall coming down. And because of the sun and the waterfall, there is a small rainbow right behind the rock. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, bro. And crossing that waterfall was kind of tough, but oh my god, it was so beautiful. There was a small rainbow out of nowhere and I didn't expect that at all. Now let's come to the highlight of day 2. Honestly, it's one of the highlights of the whole trek in general, okay? Before reaching the Jora campsite, which is the new campsite, you have to cross a river with your bare foot. And that river comes till like just below your knee, alright? It covers your ankle, but it just comes below till your knee. Once you cross it, your feet will be swollen and red. My feet were fat, swollen red because of the cold temperatures of that water. It was like ice cold. It was literally like ice cold, bro. It was stepping into the water itself was paining so much, bro. Like first step into the cold water of the river, your feet starts hurting and paining so bad. It's like someone is stabbing your feet continuously. Oh my god. I'm just getting flashbacks of that. Literally felt like someone stabbing your feet continuously. The rock was also very slippery and they were elevated. It was so weird. Different elevations of rocks and they were very slippery. In fact, I slipped, okay? I slipped. The trek leader was holding my hand and I put my feet on one of the rocks, alright? And I slipped. My whole pant and t-shirt got wet. I was drenched fully. And I took my trek leader's support and I panicked. I panicked really badly and I almost took him also with me. I literally almost took my trek leader with me and we both were gonna go with the flow of the river forever. lost somewhere, I don't even know. This was the situation, bro. But thank God the trek leader helped me. He kept his feet tight, and yeah, we didn't die. So thank God. But that was a very close call. Okay, I pulled him into the river with me, but he kept his ground straight. हम दोनों बह जाते, literally, bro. We would have actually gone. It was really scary. I later realized the gravity of the situation. Like, that was one of the moments I realized that okay, this trek, I have to be more vigilant, more careful with what I do. Panicking will not help me make decisions. I'll black out and I won't be able to think if I panic. That is what I've learned after that. And then we went to the campsite. I slept like a baby on the second day. It was so nice. Oh yeah, there was a dhaba, bro, in the middle of all this, of this terrain and difficulty. There was a dhaba out of nowhere. That is the last thing I expected, bro. There's a dhaba there. Literally, people work there. It's crazy. We bonded a lot with the trek people, with the trek group in that dhaba. And then we had dinner and we danced in that tent. I mean, it's a very nice core memory I have of dancing in that trek. Of dancing in the middle of the night. Imagine you're in a tent, it's fully black outside, there's one light in the tent, okay, you all are done with your dinner, everyone's full, happy, content with the day, and everyone's just dancing and having fun. Oh god. That was really nice. Now, day 3, 15 September, Balu ka ghera. And I skipped toilet again on third day as well, as I mentioned before. But in the night I went, apparently it was like, but I went to the night, okay, I've started off with the night here. I went to the toilet, it was like fighting a war. At best, something I did, it was disgusting. Loki wanted to puke. But I overcame the greatest challenge that I feared, which is taking a shit in the middle of nowhere. That was my greatest challenge. After that, another challenge. The trek started and it was going good. The trek was going good until boom, my leg sprained out of nowhere. On the third day itself, my leg started to pain, bro. I'm like, what the hell is happening? I'm the youngest in the group. I should be up ahead front. But I'm walking like an old man with a sprained leg in the back. But, and you know, day 3 was supposed to be an easy day, a leisure experience, to take a break from the difficult day 2. Day 3 was supposed to be easier. But for me, day 3 was the toughest because of my sprained leg. I could barely walk, man. And you know, my friends helped me on the trek. They gave me paracetamol. We sprayed Volini. I had to put a knee patch. And I'm so grateful for the trek group to help me with all this. But day 3, I saw, oh my god, so I was walking on the trail and I see a mushroom, like a normal mushroom, okay? It looked very different also, obviously. And I saw the mushroom and I decided to poke it. And I poked it with my trekking pole, okay? I poked it multiple times. And then I stood in here. I saw a mushroom on the way and when I poked it, धुआं निकला उससे. There was fucking brown smoke coming out of the mushroom. And I was so confused. Why does this mushroom have fumes, bro? Like, could you ever imagine a mushroom giving out fumes, brown color fumes? It's so random, and you will only see stuff like this in the wild, in the actual, when you actually go to the mountains, you'll actually see this. You won't see this in the cities. And then nature can be so weird at times, honestly, nature can be so weird at times. Then evening we again played a game. Oh, I got to use walkie-talkies for the first time on the third day. It was very nice. But it was cold, it was very cold. Now 16th September, 4th day, Shia Guru, 12,864 feet, exactly as I've written. Okay, this is the summit day. This is the main day. The Hampta Pass starts on this day. Like, this is what we came for. Day 4 was the main day, but everyone came for it. I'm standing by the river in cold. In front of me, the mountains are there. I'm freezing, but it's nice. It's me and the journal comparing the nature. 2 incidents today that I'm going to talk about. Oh my god. These 2 incidents, both of these incidents. Day 4 was one of the most important days of the whole trek. Day 4 is very emotional to me. Day 4 is honestly very emotional to me. I felt stuff that I never thought I would feel in a trek. Like, I never thought I would feel this. And I'm going to be very candid on what happened on day 4. This is titled The Big As Rock. Huge rock on the 4th day. And it's kept titled The Big As Rock. So, bro, today's trek was so tough. There was a ridge. So a ridge, I didn't even know what a ridge was. So I learned it on that day itself. A ridge is what connects 2 mountains. It's a very narrow trail and connects 2 mountains. We had to cross the ridge. Bro, we were crossing the ridge and one side is fully sloped, second side also fully sloped, and we were walking on the ridge. It was really scary. I was shitting my pants, not literally. I was not literally shitting my pants. It's a metaphor that I was shitting my pants. But later this becomes a reality. During this ridge, okay, we almost completed the ridge. There were these 2 rocks two really big rocks. There was a gap in between them. There was a gap in between those two rocks. There was nothing beneath the gap. There was nothing. There was, how do I explain that? Like, it was so high up in the mountain that there was literally nothing. If you don't jump over the gap properly, you'll fall and die, bro. Literally, that was the situation. And I climbed to the edge of the rock, and you have to jump it. If you don't jump it, you can't complete the trek. I was at the one side of the rock, okay? The trek leader, he held my hand, and he was like, come, I'll help you, alright? And then I started to shout. I'm like, nah, bro, this won't happen. It's not possible. How do you expect me to even do this? I was actually shocked. Okay, and I was shouting and laughing both. I don't know why I was laughing. I was laughing because I was so... It wasn't I was laughing because something was funny. I was laughing because I was so scared. I was laughing because I thought I'm gonna fucking die. That's why I was laughing. Both, the trek leader helped me, some people in the back helped me, and I crossed it. I took that jump and I crossed it after like 10 minutes of just standing there shouting, crying, laughing, everything. I crossed it finally. Okay, and then I was just laughing. The trek leader and I, we were just walking and we were just laughing. I was just laughing. And he was so confused, like, why is he laughing like that? Okay, I was laughing, and then he was like, take some rest, sit down. I sat down, he was next to me. Alright, so I'm sitting here, he's next to me. And then I started crying, bro, out of nowhere. I don't know why. There were literally tears coming out, and I was crying. Okay. And then I hugged my trek leader and so I hugged my trek leader after that, and then I was only confused because I was laughing. I was crying like a baby, and then I started laughing right after that. I don't know what I was doing. One second I'm laughing, one second I'm crying. And okay, it's written here also. I have no idea when this happened, but this laughter became crying suddenly, and I started to cry so hard in the middle of the trek. And I have no idea why. Maybe because I did the big leap, because I maybe took the big jump. And it was tears of joy which were coming, and I couldn't explain it. I wasn't crying because I was sad, it was tears of joy. I was literally laughing and crying. We didn't even reach the summit yet, and I was already crying. Okay, and then the truck leader said, hug me, and then we hugged. It was very emotional. I had a beautiful moment there. Now, every time I think about the whole trek, this is the only thing that comes to my mind. And it makes me so emotional. Literally, the mountains made me cry tears of joy. It's a beautiful thing if you think about it. I'm so lucky to have experienced it. I'm genuinely so lucky. Okay, now remember I mentioned shitting my pants, right? That story comes here now on day 4 itself. Day 4 was very adventurous, very happening. Okay, now let's talk about the shit. So I skipped today morning again, by the way. Day 4 morning, I skipped my morning routine again, and the trek was going on. The trek was going on, everyone's walking, everyone's there. I was usually in the middle or in the tail side of the trek, alright? But on day 4, I was actually ahead because I kind of got a head start, which I'll come to later. But I got a head start somehow, and 2 of us were in the right front. Me and my friend were in the front. Now, as you were walking, the pressure started to build up. There were 4-5 days worth of food in me, and after so much physical activity, the pressure is bound to build up. There was no escaping this, but yeah. So I have talked about this. So we were walking, and I told my friend, bro, I have to take this, I have to do this. Can you please wait for me? He said, yeah, he will wait for me. And I went behind the bushes. Okay, I left the trail obviously, I went behind the bushes. And there was this beautiful bed of flowers. It was red color flowers. It looked so beautiful. And I was like, this is it. This is where you're going. I told my friend, bro, number 2 is there, I can't control. He waited for me. What a nice way, he waited for me, okay? Now here's my actual experience. And you know, my trekking group, no one really knows about this, and I'm putting it out on public. So I don't know what the reaction will be once they see this. But yeah, alright. So there were red flowers all around. I was butt naked in front of 2 mountains. 2 huge mountains, and there's me butt naked taking a shit in the middle of the mountains. How beautiful is that? Have you guys watched Rick and Morty? Do you remember Rick goes to another planet to take a shit between mountains, rivers and birds and all that? That is what this felt like. That is what I felt like Rick. in another planet taking a shit with mountains, birds, and the river around me. Literally felt like that scene. From Rick and Morty, and those beautiful red flowers. After that, I half squatted and I shat. I have written. It was disgusting. I again wanted to puke. I used my drinking water obviously to clean it. There was no other option. I cleaned the bottle later, just so you know. And then the next base camp was 20 to 30 minutes away. But when you don't have an option, you have to walk. The mountains force you. What a beautiful thing. I overcame these two challenges today, which circumstances I always feared. I'm proud and I'm amazed on how much this human body can sustain and deliver when put under these situations by the mountains. Alright. Wow, I've written some deep shit. And by the way, this whole thing that I've written in my journal was in the night. In the night, after the whole trek was over, I literally used to wear a headlamp with a pen and a book, and I used to write everything down that happened. So this is from the base camp itself, these notes. That's so authentic, right? And now, today is the last day of my trek, Chatru, the last day. Chiller day, easier trek. Everyone was in a really good mood, because we had accomplished so much. We walked with relief because a lot of us were going back to Manali, and the other 5 were going to the Chandratar Lake. But I chose to go to Manali back because I was very tired, I was very exhausted, and I just wanted to go back to the city. And the last day was very interesting actually. So we were walking, and we obviously saw the road, the main road, the last day. And my friends and I, we decided to hitchhike and reach the base camp. So we hitchhiked with this random car. He was in the merchant navy, alright? And shout out to you if you're watching it. I'm not mentioning any names in this video, by the way, just so you know. Okay, and on the last day, I feel like we had really connected to all of us together. And there was a special kind of bond, because all of us were from different places. Deep down, we knew we won't be able to see each other. The probability of meeting each other again was very low because all of us live so far away in such different places. We'll be busy with our lives after this. All of us knew that. But deep down, we had that bond, that connection that we spent these 5 to 6 days together under such challenging conditions and helped each other, were there for each other, were best friends for these 6 days. From strangers to literally best friends in the shortest period of time. If you want to be with someone, just go a trek, literally. And the last day, I remember the sun was setting down and our phones were in the hands, right? There was no network for the last 6 days. And as soon as we reached the main city and we got network, all of us in the car were calling our relatives, calling our parents and our loved ones. And I remember I called my mom. I was so emotional that day because I called my mom, I told her the trek's over finally and I'm back now. It was a really nice moment in the car. Yeah, after that we were in Manali, Delhi and rest of the city life. But this was the story of my trek. Honestly, everyone should go for a trek. It's so worth it. You will see stuff, change my perspective on life. I know I sound very cliche, but it really changed my perspective on many things. Even when I came back to the city and there was a small challenge that I wouldn't do, I told myself I've climbed the fucking Himalayas. What is this small thing? I started seeing everything with a different perspective. That is what the mountains do. It was one of the best and the most beautiful experiences of my life. I loved it, and I definitely want to go on another trek very soon once I get free with college and once I have enough time the next 20 days. And I save money also. By the way, this whole trip, my second solo trip, I funded it with my own money that I earned through content creation. I worked for Vedantu for 3 months, and with the money I saved, I spent it all on this trip. Obviously, my dad helped me with the flight tickets, but the rest of it I managed it, which is something I'm very proud of. Alright, so let's talk about the conclusion of Hampta Pass and my core learnings from it that I wrote in this book. The first is age is just a number. I was out there bonding with everyone. The people, they were not that old. They were in their early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s. There was a few people with early 30s, late 30s also. And I had a bond with all of them. That's when I realized age is just a number. We constrain ourselves that, I can't be friends with a 50-year-old. But, if you spend enough time and if you make an effort to make a bond, you will end up making really good friends. Every age group has a different perspective. Going out and interacting with every age group can influence your views on certain topics. Be it elder people or younger, there's always something to learn from every age group. Second learning is few moments in your life will change your perspective forever. Like that big ass dog story and the cold river story. It really did, okay? Third one is when you overcome something you fear the most, everything else feels easy to do or it just feels normal. When you overcome something you have never thought you could do, alright? It's just how the things feel so normal and easy to do. Okay, and there's this postcard also. I'll show it to you guys. This postcard is there right here. And let's read it out. Through these 6 days, I shared a moment with every 14 plus 3 people. 14 trek people, 3 staff people. Some were very personal, deep, and the others were casual banter and jokes. But these moments made... Oh, sorry. My handwriting is so bad, I swear to God. These moments made it memorable for me. Everyone was always there for me. And I'm very grateful for that. And being the youngest has its own perks. Being the youngest in this trek felt like being a chick at a bar, Everyone was like helping me. But yeah, I really appreciate. Thank you everyone. And if you're watching this, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope you also go on a trek, right? Because it's so worth it. I mean, if you're physically fit, if you don't have any constraints, you should definitely consider going on a trek on your next trip. Then bye-bye and see ya. Bye-bye and see ya in the next video.
निकला बिल से चूहा निकला बिल से चूहा निकला बिल से